So I thought I would check in with you and say hello and welcome to another one. And as you can see by my beautiful orange attire, it is absolutely piddling it down. I am back in a location I visited 1 or 2 times, and over my shoulder somewhere over there you can probably see a tree which I have photographed a number of times, but every time I shoot it and put it on video or on my social medias, I get told there's another tree to see. And there is, and it's right there, and that's what I'm heading to. Now, conditions are absolutely dire for photographs because the rain is coming straight at me in the direction I want to shoot. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get a photograph of it now, but it's all about being motivated and motivation. And this video is the motivation because I was planning on getting up for sunrise and coming out and having a look. And I got up, or I didn't actually, I woke up at 4 o'clock. Looked out the van and it was horrendous, so I ended up going back to bed. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock I looked and it was rubbish, and then in the end I got up at 8 o'clock and it's now 9 o'clock and I'm like, I've got no motivation to get out. But the motivation is to just do it. Yeah, that's what you've got to do. You've got to make the motivation. You've got to feel pushed and strived to actually get out and do something. Otherwise you just sit there and watch the day go by. So even though it's raining, I put my wet weather gear on. I want to come and have a look at this tree. If I can't get a photograph, I can always come back later because I'm literally parked just over there, so it's not a big deal. And there is a waterfall I'm going to take you to as well, so we'll probably make 2 videos, one of this and one of the waterfall. But there's not just this tree, because there's this tree here. I do like that tree back there, from this angle with the hills behind it, or from where I was a little while ago, so it's sticking out beside the hills, really nice. And in this atmosphere I think it looks good because the top of the hills are covered by the mist and the rain. And there's also another tree over on the bank over there, so I think I need to walk over that way and have a look at that one. So let's just do that for this video. Let's shoot 3 trees and make the motivation and get motivated to try and make an interesting shot out of a bad condition. Now this little area is also known for its bit of limestone as well, so we've got some limestone interest going on, which I quite like. So we've got some nice foreground interest with the limestone, we've got the little tree, and then behind it we've got Ingleborough, the big hill in the Yorkshire Dales, which is near Ribblehead Viaduct. And in fact the atmosphere in this image is quite tasty, it's quite nice. So even though it's horrible and wet, the sheen on the limestone is shining through and making that pop, and then the muted colours are making Ingleborough in that mist and sort of eerie atmosphere look quite interesting. So if I can get a shot I will. I'll put the tripod up and maybe try and shield the camera, and this is where we've got to work with the weather, the conditions, and what we've got to deal with. Not easy. So another little photography hint and tip for you as well is get your phone out first before you get all your gear out in the wet weather. Just get your phone out and have a little look at it and see if there's something there that works, because on my phone this is a really cool picture, so I'm thinking that as if it actually works as a nice image. You can see the leading lines and stuff coming through the image and all that nice muted background and softened background, and I quite like that. It adds atmosphere to the image. So yeah, I'll look around with my phone and try and see if I can find something that works, and just by moving around a little bit you can see that these different positions. I like that as well. Look at that, you've got this lovely line going through the middle of the image, and then you've got the tree on the sort of the right hand thirds, and then all that atmosphere and mist going on in the background. So yeah, we quite like that. So yeah, let's get the camera set up there and have a little look at that one, because I think that looks pretty interesting. So I'm hoping this is going to blow over a little bit, and it has blown over a bit. It's given me a little bit of a break in the rain, but it's definitely one of those wipe and swipe, is it? You sort of wipe the lens, and I always cover it up with my lens cap, and then when I'm ready to shoot I just lift up, make sure my focus is focused, and I just lift up the cap, hold it above the lens, try and keep the water off it. I'll put my hand over and then put the cap back down, and having these big plastic caps really does help. If not, I carry, you can also use your lens cloth, hold that over the top, but I do actually carry, and you've not seen me use it for a long time, but I've got it out of my bag just now because of the rain, and I wanted to take a picture in the rain, but I carry a piece of plastic that I can just hold over the top, you know, like a little mini umbrella, and that seems to work quite well. But I'll keep that in my bag for now, just in case I need it in a minute. so it doesn't blow away. And also when my bag's on the ground, turn it face down so the cover's over the top. That will really help stopping some of the rain getting in. Now, as cleared a bit in the background, I've got a little bit of a window, so I've taken two, one from the right and one from the left, and now I'm going to see if I can find something a little bit more interesting. Yeah, I think we've got another shot getting up. Get a bit closer maybe and try and use a bit tighter lines and leading in. I think I found a much better shot here. What I'm going to do is set the camera up in a position where I can flick it vertical, and I've got a fantastic leading line from the rocks. This little atoll that I use on the top of the camera is absolutely fantastic for setting up quick vertical shots, because I can literally spin it from one to the other without having to take it off the tripod, unstable it or anything like that. So it is much easier for me to use. May not be the best L bracket in the planet, but it definitely does work very nicely for these conditions. That is a fantastic line through. The trees looking great, and the mountains or the hills in the background are also looking fantastic. Focus on the tree and take the shot. And again, we're going to just check and make sure we've got no lens spots, water spots, cover the lens back up. And I'm always one for taking the shot and then maybe moving the camera slightly. I always think, you know, you get one, but there could be another. So just have a little looky see if you're just missing anything while you're there. And there's a number of shots here. I think that's quite an interesting shot there as well, so I think we're going to have that one as well. What a fantastic little tree to photograph. Just need to go a bit lower because the horizon line is just clipping, like the fog line or the mist line or whatever you want to call it, is just clipping the bottom of the tree, and I want a bit of separation between the two to make sure that it's definitely the bush of the tree is sticking out above the scabby bits of hillside line. Again, very simple tree shot with lines coming from the bottom left. 2 images done within 2 foot, slightly different look, but I think they both work quite nicely. So I'll put them both up together for you. Hello, you up there? I'll put them both up together for you, and then tell them what one you like, A or B, and yeah, time to move on. Just had a sneaky peek to see what it would look like actually looking back, and it's got this lovely lean going over to the right hand side from here, and you get this lovely shape of the hills coming down underneath it. So I've taken a shot from this side as well, and I'm going to put it up on the screen for you now, and just let me know, do you like the view from this direction, so it's direction A, or do you like direction B, what we shot already? I actually quite like this. I think it works really nice. You don't have the same mountains in the background, but you definitely have this nice hillside, and I think on the right day in the right conditions, I mean, if you had a lovely orange sky, wow, wouldn't this be amazing? After my encounter with the cow the other week, I don't fancy getting hooked up with a cow being threatening, and I'm surrounded by cows now and I really don't like it. I can't get back up to that tree up there because all the cows are with their babies up there, and I've just thought, well, I'll take a shortcut back down and across the field the other way. And I've just looked over that bank and there's a load of cows down there, all with baby calves. So I don't want to be walking around the calves because obviously they're going to be protective, and that is a disaster waiting to happen. So I'm going to try and make my way around back up onto the road, and then I'll come back and get that tree later on. And if I can get back on the road, I'll walk down to the other tree. But the cows were all around the van last night. They actually walk up on the road, which does your head in a little bit. But yeah, let's see if I can get back to some sort of safety away from the calves. Lucky enough, the cows moved. They went down the hill. They were actually going down to the farm, so by the time I got up the hill a little bit, they'd cleared the pathway, so I managed to get back round. I'm at this other tree, as you can see there over my shoulder. This is quite nice. I've taken a couple of handheld shots here. I'm not getting the tripod out because the rain is just driving me. It's just driving me straight at me, and it's just really, really hard to get a clear shot and a position to put the tripod and make it work well. So I've taken a couple of handheld shots. I bumped my ISO up a little bit to 400 just to give me a bit more shutter speed. Yeah, I think it works. I think it's quite a nice little shot. Again, it's a nice little lone tree sitting there all on its little lonesome, and yeah, motivation was I saw the tree and I sort of had to get over it to get to it. And now I'm looking back, a long shot actually back at the tree that I'm looking back towards where I've just been. A long shot would be really nice on the long lens because you can see it right back in the distance just standing there. So like I saw this one, just little tree all on its own, and my motivation was, that's it, I've got to go to that tree. So yeah, I've done it. Doesn't work quite as well as the other one, I don't think. The backdrop's not quite as pretty, but it's still a pretty awesome tree. Scenery around here is really, really nice. You get some amazing views, and the low cloud level over there is just fantastic. I'm parked just around the corner. There's a proper parking space around the corner if you want to come up this way. You've already seen the what 3 words up on the screen for these trees, and I'll also put the what 3 words up on the screen now for where you park. An amazing little parking spot, big enough to put a dozen vehicles on it, okay. Shielded by the rocks as you see coming over that way. I'm going to end the video now. I've only shot 2 trees really, and sort of one of the other trees. Don't forget to like and subscribe, give us that thumbs up. Hope you've enjoyed this one. A little bit of motivation needed to be getting out the van and getting up and getting on with it, but now I'm out. I'm enjoying being out and having that wind and that fresh air blowing in my face. I think I'm going to have a little walk around here. If not, I'm going to go back to the van, get myself something to eat, a cup of coffee, see if the weather dies down a little bit, and head off out later on. Ciao for now, guys. See you soon. Bye bye.